Hello? 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 Are you there? Hello? Oh, here you are. Hey! This is Archie. Panda. How you guys doing? I hope you're enjoying this lovely time before Christmas. You know, when everything slows down. At least for some of us. And yeah, we got the snow and salt. Anyway, I want to talk to you about something that could eventually end up under somebody's Christmas tree. And that is this device. And what is that device? What does it do? I will explain. Now I have to apologize because I'm really not good at reviewing any products, because I have so many thoughts and so many things that I want to say, and I work without a script, but I will just say what's on my mind and what this is about. So, what is it called? This is called the Motoeye E6. And what it is basically a little HUD display, a little HUD display for your helmet. If you look at it closely, it looks similar to Google Glass, where you can kind of see through from one side, not from your side, from my side, but you can also see certain telemetry through it. You can see data, you can see, believe it or not, you can see Google Maps, and you can see car maps, Apple Maps, etc. Now, I'm not going to be able to describe the Apple stuff because I don't use the Apple stuff. I use Android, therefore I run Android Auto. I spoke with the manufacturer so many times for the last couple months, and they acknowledge that the Android stuff is a bit limited because Android is being more difficult about everything basically, and I can agree with that. Even with connections and things like this, using my iPad, I get better results than when I get from my Android phone. And I have one of the latest Android phones, so the top end phones. So it's not in the, definitely it's not in the performance of the phone, or by being my phone being old. So what does this do? Well, in a nutshell, it's a companion for motorcyclists, for bikers, and I would also want to say for us guys that ride EUCs, guys that love the tech, guys that love to spend less time looking at the phone and having the information accessible right away. There's another product on the market which is called iRide, and that has been on the market a little bit longer. I was trying to get that one, but ultimately decided not to, for one very simple reason, and it is that this system does have back-facing camera, rear-facing camera, so you can technically use this as a rear mirror if you want to, looking back, or you can attach a small front-facing camera, and you can record picture-in-picture with front and back, with understanding that if you're gonna use this front-facing camera, you do have to externally power the unit, because the unit itself is not able to support two cameras at the same time. I did speak with the manufacturer a few times regarding whether or not we could change those cameras into 4K, because so far both of the cameras are only 1080p. But at the moment there's no plan for that, and I believe they are still tweaking the system itself. So whoever's gonna buy the first versions gonna end up with just a built-in back-facing camera. If you want to spend additional $100, you're gonna have to buy the front-facing camera and either have external USB-C power bank that's gonna power it, or you're gonna buy their own battery pack that comes, you can also attach to your helmet and then power the system itself. So why is it such a cool feature? I'm gonna let the car go. Alright. Why is it so cool? Well, let's say I am organizing group ride and I put in my Google Maps destination, and usually what's happening when I ride, the navigation is telling me when I need to turn, right? And you can change that, when do you want it to tell you. But if it's an area which is very open, then you know that, for example, next 300 feet there will be turn coming up. When the area is more dense, you don't know which turn to make. Now, you do have to take your phone out and look at the map, or you have to listen to what the lady says and kind of hope that you are, that you make the right decision. What happened to me many times is with the guys talking on the intercom, I cannot hear what exactly she's saying, and I make a wrong turn, or I make the turn last minute, and unfortunately, then it's all fucked up because the guys, they are not able to react immediately, and everybody is a little bit pissed. Instead of if you have immediate reaction, right? So if I know that I'm turning 200 yards ahead or 300 yards ahead, I can tell them, hey, we are turning left. And then the Google Maps can tell me, hey, you're turning left. So I already know because I'm looking at the map itself without the need to take the phone out of my pocket. The unit comes with a little remote control. The remote control looks like this. I did attach it to line out, that retractable line out, and you can control the operations of what's on the display. You can either enable the Apple Play or the CarPlay or the Android Auto, or you can, when you're in it, you can control your Spotify, you can do search, you can go into Google Maps, you can search in the Google Maps, you can answer your emails, or answer your phone, answer your text. It gives you some kind of option to respond to people, do quick response, and it will record and it will read it for you. So basically, simplified Android Auto and simplified CarPlay. What I really, really like on this system is that it's not that it just runs those two systems, but you can also mirror your screen from your phone. What I do like on it most of the time is to have the ability to record what's behind me and what's ahead of me. I do like also the option that I can push a button and look instantly what's behind me without trying to chase a mirror. I do have yes, I use mirror, but you don't have to tilt your head. You just push a button and it will show you what's behind you. You have an option to have the mirror on all the time, or you can position it where you want it into smaller view. All the recorded media goes to built-in memory card. That by manufacturer it's 256, but I tested with 512 and it works fine. So one thing I really like on this thing is, and this was my main concern before I bought it, and my number one question to the manufacturer before I actually bought the unit, if it's going to work with my current intercom system. Believe or not, There are no issues. The way it works is that the phone that is connected to the unit that is in the back of the helmet, which is the CPU for this, is telling the phone that this is the Bluetooth headset. And my corridor thinks that the unit behind, the Motoeye unit is actually a phone. So it's like passing through the signal without, need to use the supplied microphone and supplied headset. I'm just really happy that the connection is seamless and it works really well. So I'd like to show you now what I see in terms of the data and what I can do, what I can change, what I can put there. By default, there are two windows. One is usually occupied by Google Maps or any other navigation system that you can have, which could be anything. It could be ChargePoint, right? Or anything else that you want to use. And on the right side, that's usually some kind of music interface. I do have Spotify there, but I also have other musical player on my phone. And if I use that, then that appears there. Basically, those devices, they are both available for Android Auto. And because of that, I can see those there. I can select what I want to have there. In the setup, I can set up exactly what apps I want there to be available for me if I want to use them, or I can just basically get rid of them if I don't want to use them. In fact, when you record the videos, you can review the videos right on that in that system. You do have to get out of the Android Auto environment, and then you can just simply go to your DVR settings and see what the DVR albums are. You can also take photos, single photos with the camera, with the front-facing camera, and take some pictures, which, again, they are not great. Unfortunately, there's no camera control. You cannot adjust brightness or adjust things like this. It's all built in. It does by itself, and surely there will be a better version of that. This company is great because they make a lot of updates. They push the updates out there, and I believe that if we give them enough time to develop and evolve into better versions, we all gonna benefit from it. So just to sum it up, I really like this device. I believe that maybe the version 2, version 3 will be absolutely amazing. I hope that the developers of our EUC apps will also work with these guys, somehow make a system that we can all benefit from. I spoke with Seba about this a while back. I was asking him if he can make the EUC Word available for Android Auto, and he told me basically it's not up to him. And I don't know if he's really pushing it. I did try what he was suggesting for many years now and using the companion apps and on either Samsung Gear or any other watches, or getting a standalone watch like the Tiquis or the Lampo or the Cospet, the Prime. I do have that, but and I try all those, and I never like it because the issue was always, you're looking at it, it's great, fantastic. Put it down, you wait 1 minute, and then you look up, and it's not connected. It just doesn't keep the connection alive like your phone would. Then you have to, with big hands, push little buttons connected back to your wheel. If you want to do any logging and tracking, it doesn't work because it's trying to constantly go into the power save mode And in fact, some of my watches, they wouldn't even be on constantly unless, I would put external power to it. And when I actually did put external power to it, it would kill the accessibility to the screen. So a lot of things I did try to play with it already before. I tried to see other options on the market. There's this sort of like a Garmin version for regular road bikers. They have glasses and you can see speed, etc., etc. But nothing really advanced like this. And a couple of years back, there was this guy in Japan who used to be a vivid biker. He had a beautiful old bike, and he was always talking about, hey, it would be great to have a helmet with a HUD system in it, which instead of having a single helmet and then mirrors, you would have it all built in. So he did have a system, at least that's what he showed in his Indiegogo or whatever the other platform was, where people would pay money to to help him to fund the system. GoFundMe, that's it. And unfortunately, that helmet was like $3,500, carbon fiber. Really, really nice. Of course, if you are on an electric unicycle and you fall with your $3,500 helmet, it's done. And then what? Go buy a new one? It just doesn't work this way. So this system, what I've been using now, is $500. The external camera, the front-facing camera is additional 100. Plus, if you want to use that, you should also buy the external power bank that comes with it. Or doesn't come with it, comes with if you pay. But unless you want to run a cable and have a power bank in your pocket. It cannot work without external power, the front-facing camera. But if you have that, just get it. When I try to use just the back-facing camera and try to record what's behind me, in the cold weather, it took about 3.5 hours, and then it was running low on the battery. So I connected external power bank, and that was good. It charges relatively quick. It works on the standard USB-A to USB-C. It does not support USB-C to USB-C PD. Okay, unfortunately, but I don't mind. I'm really thrilled about this. I do have sometimes issues with the system where I'm trying to connect to it, and when I disconnect the power bank, it just kills everything, right? Especially when I'm recording. So that is something that you will have to get used to if you're gonna be using that. Don't remove the power bank, or don't remove the external power if you have a different power source for that system. Yes, the unit itself has a power, and unless you connect the front-facing camera, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. But the minute you connect the front-facing camera, it will kill it. Especially if you're gonna be running CarPlay or Android Auto, and maybe you're gonna be on the phone with someone or listening to music and being navigated. It just needs power. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, keep that in mind that these guys, they are constantly working on upgrades. I mean, I saw already 3 update versions of the firmware since I got it. This was like the beginning of December. So yeah, and plus looking at those logs, I have been watching this for a while. They really pushing, listening to people, what they have to say. I got into connection with one of the technicians, and the guy is unbelievable. He's like, okay, yeah, we can work on this, we can implement it. One of the things, my like little things, so I'm like nitpicking, but I really wanted to be useful for us was to be able to record not just the front-facing video in the good quality, but also maintain the quality of the files facing back. Because let's say, I'm ahead and I'm in front and I have riders behind me, and there's something going on behind me. I don't know. Maybe a car might hit you, or if I'm in a group, there might be a guy hitting another guy, and I like to have a video of that, maybe just for the reference, right? Or liability, whatever. And what I found it difficult, and you could see it from the video footage I showed you, that when looking at what's behind you in that little window, you're not gonna really see much. So I asked them if we could separate those files into, instead of combining it to picture in picture. And they said, yeah, sure, why not? Well, let's, have it as an option for people. When you have the mirror itself, when you look at a mirror, you can have it as an actual mirror. So whatever is on your right appears on the right. If you take a camera and you reverse the camera, well, then if you look at the screen, whatever is on the right is in reality on your left, right? So you have all these options. You can have whatever is on your right, it's on your right, or whatever is on your right, have on your left. And then you can have the video, you can also record it normally, like normal camera would face, that if you aim at something in the right position, that it would appear in the picture in the right position, but you can also reverse it. So you could have a reverse image, not just in the mirror, but also in the recorded video, if you like. There are options. I'm sure there are a bunch of apps in the Android Auto environment that I probably will never use. I know that there are a lot of radio apps, and you could use those and just go into the radio itself. The unit itself can also connect to the internet or work as a Wi-Fi hotspot. So you could technically run, when you are, let's say, playing some online streams, you could have it either connected directly to a little web browser, or you could, as I said, you could even watch movie. You could record a movie directly on the memory card and watch it through that if you want to watch it, or concert, right? It would play that. All that is there. Though I don't know if it's gonna play audio, because again, it's not using the built-in headset, but your Bluetooth headset. That to be tested. Right now, I am really excited about this. I'm gonna stop mumbling because it's getting late and I spent enough time on this. If you guys have questions, let me know. I want to emphasize, if you get this unit, be patient. Okay, it takes time to get used to it, and it's also a little bit distracting. It sits in a corner, and if you had obscured vision by having the visor down and mirror on one side, and maybe other camera in front of you, it's there. So you have to pay attention, especially when there are cars coming from the side. You do have to turn the head all the way, because that little piece here will block enough vision for you to lose attention. And plus it has a little cable running through. So ideally you have a helmet that is very open, and you can stick it really up and just look up and look to that. If you have a glasses, it works. It's not the best, because your glasses will be sitting at specific position from your eye. That eyepiece also need to be a specific position from your eye. If it's too far, the picture is too small. If it's too close, then you might not be able to see everything inside that little window. So there's a little workaround, and I'm sure you're all gonna figure out. Anyway, that's it. So this is the Motoeye E6, and the version, the E6 with the back-facing camera and front-facing camera and all sorts of other things, and the remote control. And yeah, cheers. Have a good one, guys.